When I listen to jazz, I hear stories of evolution that I don't hear anywhere else. Jazz is so unique in my opinion because it carries concrete history in its DNA, like any folk music. But unlike folk music, jazz has this exponential speed in evolving. And what is better than jazz to use as a vehicle to portray the folkloric music of the Arabian Peninsula in a new perspective. I went through rhythms that I have never heard before, and I didn't even know they existed in this part of the world. There's so much African influence, and if you listen to Khaliji music, you can't help but hear the swing. So that similarity is so intriguing, and I felt that it's so much worth exploring and trying to bridge these two worlds together and see what kind of result we could get. What I relied on was the actual traditional music of the Gulf. I listened to recordings from the villages, from Bedouins, and all over the peninsula. Those were my real influences. Even though in my previous album I approached the idea of taking classical Arabic music and arranging it in a jazz context, this album has a similar spirit, but it's very different than what I usually do. Khaled is an old-time friend and a musical collaborator and even musical influencer. And we've both had this idea that why don't we try to mix jazz and Khaliji music. So the way he approached this music was perfect for me because not only he knows exactly how I think musically, he's also somebody who has a vision and he sees the rhythm as a canvas. He's always trying to paint. Afif is also a very close friend, and to me he's one of the best bass players in the region. He has extensive knowledge of jazz vocabulary from bebop to contemporary jazz, but at the same time he's very much familiar with Arabic music and specifically quarter tones, which are not found in Western music. So the way he combines both worlds together gave so much life to the music. Wahid Mubarak is an Emirati percussionist specialized in the folk music of the Gulf, and he is also one of the most sought after percussionists in the music scene here in the UAE. We worked together on most of the tracks. I also worked with a percussionist from Qatar who actually recorded just one track, which is the Qatari Arda genre. I remember when I heard Yemeni music through a singer called Abu Bakr Salim, who's an iconic figure in Yemeni music and reached fame all across the Arab world. I heard it through a song called Qorbi Nasnas. The words are written in colloquial Yemeni from that time. It's an amazing piece of music and an amazing piece of poetry. The first thing I thought about was to arrange it for a quartet. So for the song, I thought the most perfect person to sing it was a singer from Yemen called Adil Abdallah, who turned out to be very much influenced by Abu Bakr Salim. So it was a great collaboration. Saudi Arabia, they have a Bedouin art called Daha, and Daha has a legend that it started from a group of Bedouins trying to beat the Persian army. So they created this vocal technique that mimicked the sound of the camels to make themselves sound as a large group of people to make the army fear their numbers. So I used this as a sample in track that I have called Ayyala Cubana. And the Ayyala is an Emirati genre, and I found it very interesting to combine the Daha from the Bedouin tribe with the Ayyala of the UAE in a Cuban kind of atmosphere. Samri has many meanings here. It could be a style, a musical genre, and it is also, more importantly, the original gathering of the Bedouins in the desert at night where they play music until the dawn. The musical genre is a triplet feel kind of music, and the track called Samrias is based on a rhythm similar, inspired by the Samri, but at the same time, it reminded me so much of the Spanish polerias. I use electric piano, not just acoustic piano, and I use the electric piano mainly because I want to be able to play quarter tones, which is another thing I explored in this album, which is the use of quarter tones in harmonical context. There's definitely a connection. I have a connection to the desert. I have a connection to the Bedouin lifestyle. There's something that triggers some kind of an emotion in me. So this by itself was the main inspiration for me to dive into this music the way I did.